Okay. Let's fucking get as much of this done as I can. It's already 2 in the morning. What the fuck was that?
Hello and welcome to Culturescapes, which is the creators influencers who build community culture. I'm your host, Pete Bishke, and today I have a Bravo-sized free interview for you today. With me here are the indie developers for a new Kickstarter game project, Owlman. A third person narrative adventure game where you play a brush dog named Duma who is on an adventure to save Alaska. Owlman is being developed by Increase Studios, an independent UK based game. developed by Davis Master. How did this being developed by
No, this was great. Oh, I've seen this so many times. Yeah, I mean, you can let it play, or I can just summarize it, because at this point I think everyone's seen it. He essentially says that if you're a rich girl and you go to a nice school, you know, it's good that the rich people are going to this rich school, because then they're only going to violate each other against this poor person who doesn't deserve it. They're basically saying if you're wealthy, you can justify horrible things happening here. Yeah. Yes, so.
Kickstarter game project Founder, a third-person narrative adventure game where you play a rich dog named Duke who's on an adventure to save his master. How did this being developed by Independent Studio, an independent
Yeah, what's going on with the
Base
flag
Game
of the
Studio,
LGBT
founded by
community?
ex-Sony
Discussion
TT
of
Games,
top
and
flag right after the
Cloud
terrorist
Imperium
flag
Games,
where
and
they
Sega
are
developers,
not
as well as
too far to hate.
supporting
This
Gago.
flag screws on the rainbows. We're going on the 8-8. They used to legislate uphold laws that aren't too fond of this.
And have with me here
This is train wreck.
by ex-Sony
This bitch is
TT
actually
Games, and
the bottom
guest
flag
list
of
also,
all
okay?
time
Cloud
streamers.
Imperium
I mean,
Games, and
Boston
Sega
and
developers,
Jack
as well as
Bodies.
supporting Gago.
Crack addict, boss man Jack.
So here are the indie developers for the new Kickstarter game project
She's
Founder,
crying, bro.
a
Again,
third-person
going
narrative
to
adventure
glass
game
house. How are you
where you
crying?
play a
What
rich
is
dog
trying to
named
unite
Duke
all
who's on an adventure to save his master. How did this being developed by Independent Studios, an independent game? Base Game Studio, founded by ex-Sony TT Games, and this guest list also games. Cloud Imperium Games, and Sega developers, as well as supporting Gago. And I have with me here Jack Walker. Jack Walker.
Oh, I'm definitely making fun of you because I'm running a victory lap, bro. Do you remember when she watched 3 minutes of my video and called me an incel? Nice. Judge me by my enemies.
Fuck.
By the way, if you didn't deserve it, you wouldn't have gotten so. And it's gonna get worse. Then you should stop. She literally just no. She does this. This is the stones on living in a glass house. She takes the shot. She'll call these incels. She will shit on anybody who she disagrees with and do some sort of charged labor to justify the retaliation. But then when people are like, oh yeah, you're kind of bad, and you also are not reacting to content. We also stole Ethan Klein's content, dude. I did talk over it and then used it just to substitute the original piece of content, which is illegal.
The
And
new
probably getting
Kickstarter
sued.
game project Founder,
We eat a lot
a
of food on
third-person
stream, just like
narrative
the lowest
adventure
form
game
entertainment
where you play a
possible.
rich dog named Duke who's on an adventure to save his master. How did this being developed by
Okay, it's literally not.
an
It's
independent
literally
game?
not.
Base Game Studio,
Yeah, thank you.
founded by ex-Sony TT Games, and this guest list also okay. Cloud Imperium Games, and Sega developers, as well as
It's what are you
supporting
talking about?
Gago.
Focus on myself.
With me
What are
here,
you talking
Jack
no,
Walker
no, no,
and
no, no.
Calvin
This is
Dillon, they are the heads of the adventure
What
network.
part of the let's unite against Ethan Klein in a
Walker and Calvin
joint
Dillon, they're
efforts to fuck with him
Jack
is
Walker
keeping
and
to
Calvin
yourself. I want to steal this guy's piece of content to farm impressions and draw clicks and likes.
Calvin
You know,
Dillon,
get more
they're
money
the
from
heads of
people who
the
hate
adventure
this
network.
guy
Talk to
who
us
are
about it.
deranged. But I also want to just keep it away so with you today. You're a fucking compulsive liar. You want to focus on yourself.
Jack Walker
so you
and
actively lead harassment campaigns against multiple people who get what I do.
Calvin Dillon, they're the
Platform, misrepresent them and call them rapists, but you just want to focus on being positive in your community. You know, you're lying. It's so obvious.
Here's Jack Walker and Calvin Williams, they are the heads of the trip, and they're going to talk to us about it.
She smoked when she spoke.
Yeah, nothing fresh. That's not fresh.
Jack Walker and Calvin Williams, they're the Jack Walker and Calvin Williams, they are the heads of imprint,
She
and they're going to
literally does nothing on screen. Like literally nothing. And I mean it when I say nothing. She literally just plays uncut, unfiltered hours
Good to
of
be here.
like
Jack
professional
Walker
production
and
content.
Calvin
Like
Williams,
there's this
they are
one
the
like
heads of
game
imprint.
show that I caught her watching one time. This is when we were beefing. I was going to see what she had to say about me. And she's literally watching a 40-minute fucking episode of like Dragons.
Jack Walker and Calvin Williams.
It's not the next several, it's your whole life on the internet. She's
So he's Calvin.
I've actually never seen Asmund.
Yep, this is him.
I guess the comment about his mom really pissed him off.
good, yeah.
Calvin Fraser Williams. Did I do it right? I did.
Jack
Haha.
Walker and Calvin Williams, they are the heads of imprint, and they're going to talk about Calvin Williams, they are the heads of
Amount of crying and groveling is going to fix this. I mean, she still refuses to apologize to Ethan. That is probably the one thing that could save you at this point.
Hello and welcome to Culture
delivering
Escape, the
a
show that
sincere
interviews the
apology to
greatest
Ethan, and
influencers
Ethan,
who
from
build
the
nerd
kindness
culture.
and heart,
I'm your
decided to
host,
drop the
Pete Fishke,
lawsuit.
and today I have a doggo-sized brief interview for you today. With me here are the indie developers of the new Kickstarter game project, Hounded, a third-person narrative adventure game where you play a British dog named Duke, who is on an adventure to save his master. Hounded is being developed by Imprint Studios, an independent UK-based game studio founded by ex-Sony PT Games, who is yes, this is okay. Cloud Imperium Games and Sega developers as well as supporting Doggo. And I have with me here Jack Walker and Calvin Williams. They're the heads of Imprint, and they're going to talk to us about both indie game development, your game, and what it will take to get my dog in Sega. We got to it earlier.
So her relative appreciation by like the Twitch community is about like
Your
zero
game,
compared
and
to
what
the
it will
con. So
take
that's
to
one
get
good
my
thing.
dog in Sega.
Fuck
We
bro.
got to it earlier.
Brother, if she had power, we would legitimately be dragging people over. Some world leader would be scrolling Twitch and then see this as a representative of what the United States has to offer in the realm of political discussion.
Clear.
And we would get puked tomorrow. And I'd be like, you know what? Fair enough.
And just call everybody that criticizes you insults
Take
and
to get
whatnot.
my dog
And it
in
really
Sega.
is just getting
We
rid
got
of
to
it.
it
And that
earlier.
is
I'm not gonna leave the video playing while I pee, so.
quite a statement for someone like Casey, who is pathetic to begin with. You really need to take a look in the mirror. Probably wear sunglasses, that shit might blind you, but you know, do some level of self-reflection. That was my point there. Like, how did I get to this point? How did I F up my life this bad, you know? Then she calls out Asmongold's community for harassing her.
I think if Casey Crone made an
Share. There we go.
and then the lady
Share.
is on the OnlyFans,
There we go.
the lady with
And what it will take to get
4 foot tall would probably get 200
my dog.
times the amount of active subs than Casey Crone. And it wouldn't even be hard. That's right. You
What
shouldn't
it will
talk
take
shit
to
about me.
get
Who do
my
you think
dog
I'm a
in
target
Sega.
on? Who I'm supposed to
Got
just
it
take?
earlier.
But also, how dare we even talk about you? The only time I think about
Game
you is
and
when
what
you're
does it
talking
take
about
to
me.
get my dog.
Remember how I said I thought it was going to get worse? Told you. Look, this is
What it will
massive.
take to get my dog. Either one.
She's reacting, guys. Guys, she's reacting. How much do you want to bet her ears probably go down the moment that she wakes up? Oh my god. Huh.
Savage Asmongold is a very rare occurrence. Usually he's super sort of laid back with this sort of criticism, but this is actually a rare treat. He is absolutely not buying the bullshit. And
Oh,
I
Pete.
can't even say that. It's like, her possibly
Really
being
unbiased.
asleep when watching
No, I didn't see that either. That's great. And I love how she has a king size bed for herself.
Bias in this interview, as you can tell.
No, we
did.
It's
Funny how
perfect fit.
Is Tecton going to action the lawsuit? I don't know. He has a laundry list of people to go after, from Hassan Games, Casentron. It's kind of take your pick at this point. But
Correct.
happens, we will be there, as always, watching, which is an
Let's
extra
go.
probably popular. Let's move on to Ethan adding Shonda Black to the lawsuits. This is absolutely
This is great.
Ethan, considering their entire criticism of
He's like, I'm not just sexist, I'm racist.
Motherfucker!
Try that on for size, huh?
Was being a misogynist pursuing 3 women, right? And then he's just added a guy to the lawsuit. I'm telling you, real life and slop content is better than actual TV shows right now. So Ethan,
Yeah, no, it is.
I've been thinking deeply about everything going on, specifically about the accusation that I'm a misogynist pursuing 3 women. You are all correct. It's not been fair.
Dude. No way. Dude, nice. Yeah, thank all your snarker friends for the constructive advice. Oh my god. Yes, yes.
Get match up.
Little chess reference, huh? Big brain time. I like that. Little Joko Sima reference. Oh. That's crazy.
Ethan is straight up pitting the snarkers against each other. You know the best part? This game became a fun meme. And now they're all gonna be like mad at each other. No, donate to me, not her. Now people are obviously doing racist.
Yes.
Black man to his
Creepy, dude, creepy Klein, dude, that's awesome. He adds a black man to his list of victims. We don't view him as a human, we view him as a meat shield with a flesh and skin tone that we view as a minority. So therefore, when we say that you're bad, you're not just bad, you're a racist. There's a special kind of bad. That in this world of gender equality and racism and DEI and whatever bullshit, that's
Motherfucker.
the worst that you can be.
while on vacation. Trying to
Nice, dude.
Your game and what it would take to get my dog, either one. Preferably on the right, but I like them both.
Oh, cute.
In the game. Completely unbiased in this interview, as you can tell.
No agenda.
Welcome to
man you'll call him a typical Jew. Other people see his gender and race. Everything is attached to it. And
No agenda.
because these people are actually racist and sexist, they don't see people as anything
No
other than
agenda.
their skin color. Now, Sean the Black responded, Ethan said a smoothie black creator instead of being misogynistic while on vacation, overlooking it.
What the fuck?
welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for
snitching on him.
What the fuck was that?
So Evidence.
Yeah, no, this is excited. I remember
That's
hearing.
actually hilarious. I'd be pissed as fuck at these bitches.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Racism, the only reason you guys is because y'all ain't shut up.
Escape.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, this is excited. I remember hearing.
Out to content creators at the start of our Kickstarter campaign, or just before our Kickstarter campaign, and Frost was somebody who reached out. So as soon as we saw that, it was great to see him then share some of our content. So glad that we saw it.
It may be stupid, but that's funny nowadays.
Well, tell us.
Yeah, exactly. It was great. We put a call out to content creators at the start of our Kickstarter campaign, or just.
I don't know what the fuck I did, but it's fucked. God fucking damn it.
Rasmussen University provided a lot of support in a myriad of ways, being able to contact instructors and staff outside of office hours. That support system is essential because they need to be.
What's up, everyone? Jerry here from reporting on the Sunday check-in. There was some news late last night, about Trump's big, beautiful
No
bill.
agenda.
Some people are happy, some people are very
Welcome to the
upset.
show, guys. Thanks for
Obviously,
coming on Culturescape.
there's gonna
Yeah,
be
thanks for
some
having us.
explaining to you.
Yeah, no, this is excited. I remember hearing first from.
Had some
No
Awesome.
agenda.
Maybe not in the way that they increase surveillance on Americans, but in the way that, maybe there was something good in there, but it was so diluted by the end of it. It was difficult to say. So let's go through what was promised versus what was delivered, and really try to break down if this is a win or not. But a huge shout out to my sponsor, Bill for America. It goes right now, really quick but important update. Right now,
Fucking stop it.
credits that are actually being manufactured back in China and in America to work. These credits are fueling American energy dominance, building supply chains, rebuilding them, and hitting China where it hurts. We're not talking theory, real job, real fact, real results. Right here in America, we're killing them, we're destroying millions of U.S. jobs, but a trillion for the economy, and man, China win. President Trump, don't let Congress or the Parliament come back and protect right. That are going to be first and number 3 description. Thomas Massey about this affair. I like Thomas Massey. I don't love, Trump's feud with him. But in general, I really like Trump
To get my
as a
dog,
leader,
either one.
as a guy, as a
Berlin and Reich, I
dictator.
like them both.
Oh, Pete.
If you're being realistic,
Clearly I'm biased in this interview, as you can tell.
No agenda.
Welcome to the show, guys.
It's always going to be a mixed bag. There's going to be some people who are hardcore Trump fans that never see anything wrong with what he does. There's going to be Trump haters. Most, me and most of my viewers are somewhere in the middle.
No
Trump
agenda.
in general as a dude, everything he does is awesome.
Okay, I think I fixed it.
Generally far better than any other alternative. You were promised a big beautiful bill that it would do these things, but it does not. Prohibit welfare for illegal aliens, stop funding the surgeries for kids, end registration of suppressors, defund Planned Parenthood in 10 years, implement the RAINS Act, and reduce deficit. When you see people pointing out, did the House put these provisions in while the Senate took them out? Yes, but lest you blame the Senate, watch the House now for how the lobotomized version 2.0 product. The initial promises got pro-life, pro-border security, and pro-2A groups to whip for version 1. House reps
to
voted
get my
against, got pregnant, and now will vote for version 2.0. Trump obviously saying
Berlin and
Trump
Reich, I like
declared
them both.
victory
Oh,
on his big
Pete.
beautiful bill. He was the first step proud.
Clearly I'm biased in this interview, as you can tell.
No agenda.
Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for coming on Culture Escape.
Brutal warning to Republican trying to block the passage. Landmark package of tax breaks spending hits and goals to keep coordination funds. Progress on Saturday night. Calling
Welcome to
the
the show,
four-hour
guys. Thanks
negotiation
for
period
coming on
led by
Culture
Vice
Escape.
President Vance, who Russia and the Capitol to get the bill over the line. He will now face an intense period of debating amendments before it's sent back to the House to vote on it again. Trump wants the bill passed through both chambers, set to sign on his desk by the 4th of July. Tonight we saw a great victory in the Senate, a great, big, beautiful bill. Trump posted on social.
Show,
He
guys. Thanks for
singled out
coming
three
on Culture
Republicans
Escape.
like Scott Florida,
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Utah.
that, was,
Yeah, no, this is exciting.
that was perfect. I'm like, they both say the same thing at the same time. How am I going to edit this? I think it looks pretty good.
Culture Escape.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Now, there are some things we're talking about here. We're also going to talk about something around this and Elon Musk's response to it. Elon Musk, of course, we know he hates the big beautiful bill. And the more I learn about it, here's how I see
I don't know how I fucked up.
and I'm talking about the pro Trump, right? Because like anti-Trump views one of them. There's a camp in the pro Trump which I agree with a lot of other things too, in that it's like, hey, can we pass single bills? Why do we have to do this with all this bloat and nonsense in it? This isn't what we were promised. And I think those people are also correct. There's also the camp of Trump where like nothing Trump does is wrong, and what he do for bills and massive success. I think it'd be hard for me to say that it is, even if it passed, because
Try new Mirafast for fast constipation that's gentle like this.
Culture Escape.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, this is exciting. I remember hearing first from
but I do think
Frost
overall,
over on Twitter and YouTube. because Colt Takes Channel on YouTube. I love his game development commentary. And that's kind of what keyed me into you guys. I love dogs. I love the game Stray. Unfortunately, features cats. It's wrong, but it does.
And I think that that's a good role to have. I just don't know if
Stray was good.
I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, but there's just a level of copium that I have where it's like, well, at least that's
Game's like 2 years old now. It's crazy.
Features cats.
Elon Musk reading this
Wrong,
Donald
but
Trump is informing the president's spending bill and listening to tirade. The world richest man, young Trump's big beautiful bill has utter madness. Hours before the Senate and Republicans are expected to hold initial vote on the latest version of the bill Saturday afternoon. And then they'll pass it last night. The latest Senate draft would destroy millions of jobs in America.
wrong, but it does. Okay, someone needs to fix that sort of kind of.
Yeah.
All right.
Utterly
Here
insane
we
and
are.
destructive, using handouts to industries of the past while severely damaging industries of the future. Trump's massive spending bill was notably the trigger for Musk and President Trump's dramatic fallout. 3 weeks ago, Musk will celebrate his birthday Saturday as he slammed Trump's bill, also criticized the impact the bill that will have on energy industry. With Musk recently pushing for a sharp increase in solar production in the United States.
Game Stray, unfortunately,
The Senate will put
features
white
cats.
hats and gigawatts of
Wrong, but it does. Okay, someone needs to fix that sort of kind of. All right. So here we are.
Yeah, exactly. It was great. We put a call out to content creators at the start of our Kickstarter campaign, or just before our Kickstarter campaign, and Frost was somebody who reached out. So as soon as we saw that, it was great to see him then share some of our content. So glad that you saw it.
For sure. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, gentlemen, how your studio came together, and what inspired you to take on this project. Project.
Well, that's a long question. Well, a long answer for a short question. Long question. Well, long answer for a short Well, a long answer for a short question.
Total amount of spending. The fact that the GOP kowtows to the clearly adversarial role of the parliamentarian.
That's a long question. Well, a long answer for a short question. Do you want to start, Calvin? I'll see the gaps. Yeah. Quite a similar sort of path that we went. Yeah, sure. So, been in the industry over 10 years now.
All right, we're just gonna cut all of that out.
That's obviously not good. I think that read somewhere like just under $100. It's not very good. You know, Mike B's trying to sell federal land. That did get pulled, so that was a win. You know, the AI stuff
We went.
is
Yeah, sure.
odd.
So, yeah, sure. So,
I don't like it. You know, removing the HPI and short acts, Republicans lowered the taxes $0 and Democrats are wasting $10,000 in power. Most people have a problem with the AI part, which I do as well. That's very, very odd. I think AI should not be a monopoly.
Your studio came together, and what inspired you to take on this project?
You know,
So, been in the industry over 10 years now. Started working at Sony, doing QA, working on titles like Killzone, Shadowfall, and eventually progressed to Evolution Studios to work on Drive Club. And then where I met Jack was at Cloud Imperium Games, and I was there for a very long time. But we met each other. I was sat next to him. He'd been in the industry a little bit longer than myself, so he was a bit of a mentor for me at the start, and still is to this day, to be honest. Debatable. It's the other way around.
I think that there's still a lot of value in trying to push people, push our leaders to these get rid of these ridiculous, gigantic omnibus bills that have just too much crap. This is where the lobbyists
To this day, to be
really
honest.
get their money, right?
Debatable.
So what ends up happening is
It's the other way around now.
everybody's got a boss, and they're pleasing the
It's the other way around now.
Now, when these bills come in, they will cram
It's the other way around now.
That's when a lot of that dark money comes into play. So before I talk about the Iran stuff, I spoke to
And eventually our paths crossed.
more like me where it's like, I trust Trump and yeah, it's not perfect, but I've only lived so long and so, I can only be mad, I have to be pragmatic about it. Or are you more on the ideological
And
side?
start this adventure.
Kind of nothing just makes sense. Also, by the way, President Trump now calling on the Democrats to be arrested. President Trump's calls on the Iranian
How it first came about.
to identify and arrest.
You tweeted, the Democrats leaked the intelligence.
Where the fuck?
You know we're literally 8 to 1.
What the fuck? Oh, son of a bitch. Where did it go?
Dangerous precedent. If it's a leaker from inside the government, obviously
Where did Pete's camera go?
I support the prosecution of that. Do I like, going after sources that go to journalists? I suppose if they're leaking top secret government stuff like this, it gets into a gray area, but I tend to want protection for reporters in general.
Motherfucker. To redo all that shit now.
Tired of fighting over it.
Do you see how many?
President right now, stuff you disagree with, or are you,
Well, it's,
or are you angry about the big thing? I'd be curious with your comments what you see on stream on the 5 p.m. website.
Yeah, sure.
Patients who have sensitive teeth but also want wider teeth, they have to make a choice, one versus the other. Sensodyne Clinical Light provides 2 shades wider teeth as well as providing 24/7.
Are you a Wolio? Which chat is that? This Kick? Oh, it is Kick. What's a Wolio?
To take on this project.
So, been in the industry over 10 years now. Debatable.
In my how does this guy not get like in trouble for hate speech, right? Because like I feel like in general like the UK, don't they have a bunch of laws against this? Isn't this guy gonna get in trouble?
It's the other way around now. Start this adventure.
This is crazy. Like, it's no wonder we don't hear about any of these hip hop artists from the UK. Bro, this guy, like, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing, bro. Damn.
What inspired you to take on this project?
So, been in the industry over 10 years now. Started working with Sony, doing QA, working on titles like Killzone Shadowfall.
Need to get a beer.
Where is this? It's in the UK? Surely, guys, surely nothing bad is ever going to come of this. Surely there will never be a negative reaction to this ever, right? I mean, there's no way that could ever happen. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. It was great. We put a call out to content creators at the start of our Kickstarter campaign, or just before our Kickstarter.
For sure. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, gentlemen, how your studio came together, and what inspired you to take on this project.
So, been in the industry over 10 years now. Started working at Sony, working on titles like Killzone, Shadowfall, and eventually progressed to Evolution Studios to work on Drive Club. And then where I met Jack was at Cloud Imperium Games, and I was there for a very long time. But we met each other. I was sat next to him. He'd been in the industry a little bit longer than myself, so he was a bit of a mentor, and still is to this day, to be honest.
Debatable. It's the other way around now.
And eventually our paths crossed. Jack left, and eventually we met back up at a studio called Bulkhead, where we were both art directors, and it was a really good test bed for us to figure out how to work well together and the direction that we want to push things in. And conversations naturally arose with what we want to do in the future and how we like to approach things, and it just came to a natural point where there was an opportunity presented into us where the timing was right, and we wanted to go off on our own and start this adventure. And from that, it was then a question of what is our business. So the way that we started our business is as a work-for-hire company. So we sell our art services still to this day to other studios, and that any profit that we make from that, we then funnel back into our own internal developments. And during that process, at the start, we were trying to figure.
Damn it. Okay, what is this project that we want to start? What will be the first imprint game? And we had multiple different ideas that might still see the light of day at some point in the future. I know Jack is very keen with some of the themes that are in there. So it would be surprising if we didn't broach those themes at some point. But it was at that time when the idea for Hounded first came about.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't realize that you guys.
Time when the idea for Hounded first came about. For Hounded first came about.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't realize that you guys, I mean, obviously I thought you guys, of course, had traditional game development experience, but that you guys had been actually...
Why is there sound on this line, but no sound coming through the fucking thing?
Hello. I did it.
It's going to happen within our lifetime for sure.
Whatever.
And so, I don't know, like Trump? No, Trump is like.
First came about.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't realize that you guys, I mean, obviously I thought you guys, of course, had additional capability experience, but that you guys have been actually doing work in the background before you even started the Kickstarter.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Why hound?
How absolutely fucking savage people can be. Like, if you go back and you look at history and, like, what people used to do and, like, the way that they used to do it, the kind of stuff that we read about in history books is, like, it's very
Yeah.
bad. But
It's too fucking fast.
they used to do in, like, fucking, Incan temples, right? It's insane. And again, I told you guys that this is going to happen. A lot of people, and I've said this is the reason when you make reasonable conversation possible.
You guys have been actually doing work in the background before you even started the Kickstarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why hound it? Like, what, you guys are huge dog lovers?
Yeah.
British
That's
thing, you're British.
that's one.
Lovers.
Yeah.
British
That's
thing, you're British.
that's one part of the
British
same.
dog, British game.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, we're both. Yeah.
British
That's
thing, you're British.
that's one part of the same.
British dog, British game.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. That's one part of the same. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, we're both big dog lovers. Yeah. Places
Yeah.
you can get into, etc. Yeah.
From what I've
Play reasons for like places that you can get into, etc.
From what I've seen for the material, work in the background before you even started the Kickstarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why hound it? Like, what, you guys are huge dog lovers? Is this a British thing? You're British. This is a British dog, British game.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, we're both.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, we're both.
I've got them doing this 3 times now.
British dog, British game.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, we're both big dog lovers. That's what key ingredient. But also, you know, it's set in this not fantasy world. It's inspired by the British Isles, and we both grew up very close to the Peak District. And both love the island that we live on, even all of its flaws. And we're trying to, you know, capture that in a sort of snow globe. And put that into the game, along with like, all the feelings and emotions and characters that you would get from visiting this quirky, quaint, you know, quintessentially British place. And I think the way, you know, quintessentially British place.
That's fine, but I'd rather be in the world than dead. And most people would. That's just all there is to it. Again, this is internet logic, internet ethics. All of these things immediately disappear.
No, quintessentially British place.
British dog, British game.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, we're both big dog lovers. That's what key ingredient. But also, you know, it's set in this not fantasy world. It's inspired by the British Isles, and we both grew up very close to the Peak District. We both love the island that we live on, even all of its flaws. And we're trying to, you know, capture that in a sort of snow globe. And put that into the game, along with like, all the feelings and emotions and characters that you would get from visiting this quirky, quaint, you know, quintessentially British place.
Where's my fucking pen? What the fuck? 1450. Quirky. British. Game.
And I think the way that we came into, you know, quintessentially British place. And I think the way that we came into utilising a dog, as Jack said, it was important for us because we are dog lovers, but it was also important for us for the fact that we had this world and we wanted to tell a story within that from a unique perspective. So we toyed around different ideas, but ultimately it came down to a dog being the perfect vessel for your journey through this world, whether that be for narrative reasons or for specific gameplay reasons, for like places that you can get into, etc.
From what I've seen for the materials, it looks like you guys are kind of like going for sort of fantastical history setting for this dog adventure. It's not in modern times.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's completely right, and I'm glad the
Not in modern times.
yeah, I mean, we're no, that's completely.
No, no, that's completely right, and I'm glad for the material that we've seen. So it's alluded to that. So. No, no, that's completely right, and I'm glad for the material that we've seen. So it's alluded to that. So it's good for someone to go to.
I can't understand anything this guy's saying.
No, no, that's completely right, and I'm glad for the material that we've seen. So it's alluded to that. So it's good for someone to go to. We're calling it Tabletop Fantasy with like a Tesla-punk twist. So you kind of imagine like the way we're pitching it is what its ethnicity was discovered 100 years prior to the region's era, which is roughly where we're kind of set, which is like early 1800s. And seeing how that changes the environment. Environment that changes the world, and how you are able to interact with these contraptions and things. We're very inspired by games such as Fable, Dishonored, The Order 1886, and if you played those games, you kind of know what to kind of expect from like the level of technology and how technical feeds into it. Those are good examples. Feeds into it. Feeds into it. Those are good examples. They will, of course, fantastic game. Wonderful British studio got bought out. And yeah, what a shame. Got bought out. Yeah, what a shame. Order got bought out. Yeah, what a shame. Got bought out. Yeah, what a shame. Order, you're right. Order 1886 is a beautiful game. It's gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah, still to this day. It's one that quite stuff like game. What? It's one that quite stuff like game.
Testament feeds into it.
Those are good examples. Fable, of course, fantastic game. Fortunately, the wonderful British studio got bought out and that
Yeah, what a shame.
yeah. You're right, Order 1886 is a beautiful game. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, still to this day.
Yeah, we're both sort of like him.
Yeah, it's one that we continually reference to this day. They were very ahead of the time with what they were trying to do. And it is a shame that we won't ever see any more from that world, but what they left us with definitely inspired us a lot.
Yeah. They did a lot in terms of pushing boundaries at the time, which is just massively inspirational for us as a small studio. Because I feel like the tools that we have these days, there's so much you can do. And Ridley Calvin always said he'd never not want to make a game that was trying to pioneer something.
17.
Which is kind of where the dog kind of feeds into this as well, because there aren't that many games that have a dog protagonist, and if they do have them, it tends to be quite whimsical, where like we will have an element of that, but the primary focus is to tell this kind of like deep, sort of hopeful story of like love and loss and rebellion. So that's kind of where we're taking it.
Yeah, no, and the two ways I'd like to take this here, obviously being the dog side, but also of course, kind of the quick elevator pitch would be like, what if it was Stray but dogs? Stray is a game you play in cat. It's kind of like a adventure. I don't know how to put it. It's like an adventure platformer you play cat.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be inspired by Kowloon City out in China. Great game, did really well. It's made by what? June 12th Studio. It's like 2022. It's not 2022. 22 game.
Yep.
How did you guys come to that? I mean, do you like that comparison? I mean,
Yeah, we do actually. True. And
Yeah, and in terms of the comparison, vibe with as well. Yeah, and in terms of the well. As well, yeah, and in terms of the comparison, dog side down.
Motherfucker.
As you can see, for example, that comment right there, that she was catfish. I will take this opportunity to mention that I also feel personally vindicated because some people were making fun of me for the way that I stand when I'm sticking out like that. But look at Saba, she's actually got a very similar stance. Her dress just makes it a little less obvious. But I will take this as vindication. Let's go. As mentioned, though, some people are not happy about this. For example, over on Blue Sky, we've got this comment from 2 hours ago being really disappointed that Saba is even
Yeah,
involved in past lives.
Immediately get somebody in the door, then you can explain further where our game goes.
We did, obviously when we first came up with the game, we were speaking to people about it.
So we used our elevator, which we weren't just going in there saying it's straight up dog. Because obviously it is.
Why on earth did Saba go and do that? She literally had the opportunity
It is
to be an amazing
very
character
different,
that
really.
didn't bring in weirdos. And instead she picked an insanely low character that would bring about PDF files. I'm done with the creator. Oh no, what is Gary gonna do? Oh my gosh, what a disaster, guys. I'm Savvy responding and saying she did do something amazing to her, something she enjoys. Why do you think you're so forced to dictate what people like design-wise?
It's very different, really. But having spoken to people, a lot of people were approaching us saying, is that like the Stray Game but a dog? We were like, oh my god, maybe this is a faster way to communicate what we're going for. Yeah. So thank you, Blue 12, for paving the way. It's
definitely.
They have said.
And then the tweet began to get a lot of attention, and they got a lot of backlash to it. People were calling him hypocrites, etc., and they changed real out there. Then adding on to the tweet saying, I F with Saba, but her model and just pandering to that audience is really disheartening yet not surprising. I like the
Yeah,
one
definitely.
on this beauty collab, but good luck to her. That user wasn't done there though, and making another follow tweet that
They have set and they set the bar very, very high.
which meant that I was
Yeah,
going to change profile.
in terms of what to expect from adventure game.
Go outside. Dog response just reads, get a job. And then there's this one that's defending the open. All you did was express your disappointment over someone not changing and giving a clear opportunity, and I'm with you. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's make this first. Catering to these showmos, these pedophile communities is harmful, clearly. Just found some creators I follow.
Explain further where our game goes.
That's just
We did,
clear opportunity to change.
obviously when we first came up with the game, we were speaking to people about it. Because we used our elevator, which we weren't just going in there saying it's straight up dog. Because obviously it is very different, really. But having spoken to people, a lot of people approaching us saying, is that like the Stray Game but a dog? We were like, oh my god, maybe this is a faster way to communicate what we're going for. So thank you, Blue 12, for paving the way. It's,
Definitely.
they have set and they set the bar very, very high.
Yeah.
In terms of what to expect from them.
Because this is something that you don't understand. Thank you, Odom, for this act. It says, Gardner already came back. All their girl, that number one music creator,
Yeah,
one of the best music ever, wants to come back to Thunderdome. We're weak. We don't forget. First of all, I love the massive
You, Blue 12, for paving the way. It's,
Definitely.
they have set and they set the bar very, very high.
Yeah.
In terms of what to expect from kind of adventure game.
Exactly. And it's on us to not let the dog side down.
Ooh. 20. 20. Don't let dogs down. Stray.
But that's a whole separate topic. I just wanted to know really quick because the whole like we're weak, we don't bring
Yeah, then that's like a good place to bring it. You go with the dog. decide on do especially like E3, like if you play around with different like okay maybe what
And as mentioned, Brittany
I'm
mentioned,
sure you're
is
wild
one of
or
our
I don't know.
skaters,
Maybe you should try it too.
here of all time.
I think you guys figure that out.
At all. I think I made
Okay. That's enough for tonight. My back's starting to spasm. I got a little over.
Brittany Bendis apparently is like retired from YouTube or whatever, I guess. And on the same day that Sonic debuts, now Brittany Bendis like, I don't know, should I come back? Because this really makes it seem like
Got like 15 minutes left to cut. I can get it done probably tomorrow.
thinking about Gargara. Like Gargara is absolutely rent free. If that's what's going on here. It seems way too coincidental for that not to be what's going on here. Well, let me know what you guys think.
Okay.
That takes us to
I'll be back. I downloaded a lot of games tonight. I got on sale. I got the first 3 Crash Bandicoot games. I've never really played those. Maybe like at a friend's house once or twice back, fucking 20 years ago. I downloaded the RoboCop game. What's up, Roxanne Wolf? I'm glad you came in. I just purchased the first 3 Crash Bandicoot games. I know you've wanted me to play those. I don't know if I'm going to get to that tonight, but I also got the RoboCop game. We got Stellar Blade. We got Marvel Rivals, which is probably what I'm going to kick off with. We are gaming this summer. I already have so much to get to. Wanted you to play Blaster Master Zero, not Crash. You told me you wanted me to play Crash, and remember the only one I had was the 4th one. Yes, you did. Like less than a month ago.
But then at the same time, they're like fine with what they're perceiving as like a giant problem. So yeah, maybe I'm missing something here. Let me know what you guys think. And regardless, we thought this response
But yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes. So let me fix my fucking back.
worked her out. And she just actually likes it. Not him. Nevertheless,
Exactly. Alright, I'll be back with some gaming in just a few minutes. Bye-bye.